So like we mentioned, myself, Lorraine, Karen, Gloria are all present. Anna did reach out to me a couple of times and we sent her the Zoom link, so I'm hoping she'll join us. So go from there. So anyways, a couple of things I just want to mention, not really meeting related, but kind of funny. Does anyone go on Bridgewater 02324? I love the moderator, Herb Lemon. I don't know if anyone watches that, but anyways, today, just a couple of minutes ago, he posts, "Be not afraid, Bridgewater residents. It is the sun." Well, for 2 minutes only, the sun was out, which I haven't seen forever, but then it went right to the weekend. So I guess that was it. We had the sun for 2 minutes.
I know. That's what I thought I saw the sun. Like,
Well,
is it
yeah,
really the sun?
Really saw it. The
Yeah.
other thing that was kind of sad also on Bridgewater Residence, I was looking through today, in the downtown common, they took down the Christmas decorations, which makes sense, but they're doing a collection. Someone stole Cindy Lou Who.
I know. I know.
I can't imagine, it's gotta be a teenager or a kid, but that little wooden figure was stolen, so they're trying to do a collection to replace poor little Cindy Lou Who.
I couldn't believe it when I heard that. That's crazy.
It's too bad that they don't return it, because what a waste to have to rebuy that.
I know.
And my last little bit of news that is pre-meeting, does anyone go to the library at all?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So I saw this posted also on Facebook. After 30-something years, Anne, who's my favorite librarian, is retiring tomorrow. So I stopped in today to say goodbye, but she is unbelievably nice. And when I first started tutoring English as a second language, I didn't know where the books were. I didn't know, how to look up stuff. I didn't know how to use the copy machines. Yeah, she took me under her wing, and she just helped out with everything. So she is really one of a kind, and certainly a loss for the library, but I'm happy she's retiring on her own terms anyway. But really, really nice person.
Anne Geralt is really going to be missed. I mean, she has helped so many people throughout the years. And like I told her, we had some rough budget years. Remember, Gloria, for quite some time. And she weathered the storm and she went above and beyond, so we're really going to miss her a lot.
She deserves a peaceful retirement.
Yeah, she does.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know that she wanted that, but her son posted all over Facebook. So I'm sure she's getting a lot of people to say goodbye to her, because she, like I said, one of a kind. And, you think of the library, you think of Anne, definitely.
Yep, definitely. I know. Yeah.
So we called the meeting to order at 2:02. I guess the first thing on the agenda would be motion to approve the November 28th meeting minutes. Present at that meeting were myself, Lorraine, and Gloria. Did everyone get an opportunity to read the notes?
Yes.
Yes. Karen? Yep.
I wasn't there, so I can't vote. I have no idea if they're right.
Okay. That is true. And Lorraine, obviously you saw them, you posted them. So motion to approve.
So I will make the motion to approve.
Thank you, Gloria. And Lorraine, would you like to second?
I'll second, if I can, my own minutes.
The meeting minutes are approved. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, new business. Rev Up MASH and the Disability Law Center are coordinating volunteers to evaluate polling sites in MASH. The DLC will hold a volunteer training on February 14th. Save the date. More info, including registration and a sign-up form, are forthcoming. Materials are available to provide a preview, the DLC polling site evaluation training video. Merrily sent this email to all members of the Disability Commission earlier. However, I sent out to everyone because I got an updated email from them today, and I sent out to each of you a copy of the email, which lists the training session as February 14th, Valentine's Day, between 1 and 2 o'clock. So if you're interested, please sign up. I know I'm gonna be at the senior center, working on the Valentine event,
Mhm.
so I won't be available. But
Yeah.
if you're interested, please sign up. Also, if you didn't get the email, I'll be happy to send it out again, but check your emails out because I did send it out earlier today.
And thank you for sending that along, Dave. I actually forwarded it to the folks at the Martin Richard Institute for Social Justice, and they're
Okay.
going to see if they can get some student volunteers to help out with that kind of project.
Oh, that's wonderful,
Good.
Karen.
Yeah, I mean,
great.
because we have
Also-
students from all over Southeastern Mass, so not just Bridgewater, but they can
Oh,
take a
wow.
look at polling places in other towns.
That's really good, Karen. And you know what? I'll try to make a practice of when I get stuff like that, sending it out to you guys all the time, because all you have to do is delete it if you don't need another
Mhm.
copy. So I'll do it more often.
Karen, did you say they're from the Martin Richard Institute? Is that what you just said, or?
I just
How
said I
important.
forwarded the information to the Martin Richard
Okay.
Institute to recruit students to attend the training and to evaluate polling places throughout Southeastern Mass.
Okay, I'm trying to write notes down as you guys.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
thank
think
you.
that's a good project for some
Yeah.
of our students who are interested in disability access and social justice and all of those things.
That's a really good idea.
Mhm.
Lorraine, would you like me to talk slower so that you can?
No, well, what I was engaged in the conversation and I'm there, oh, wait a minute, I need to take notes. You know,
Well,
I
I
get
thank-
caught up
I
in the
thank you for-
conversation and then I go, wait a minute, I need to document this, so.
Well, you know what? I can't
Bear
talk
with me,
quickly
please.
and take notes at the same. So I give you credit because I couldn't do it.
Well, it is difficult because you try to get engaged with everybody, but then you're
Right.
trying to recall, what was just said. That's why I said to Karen, excuse me.
Exactly, yeah, and just as a
know?
reminder, Dave, next time you see Henry, tell him we miss him.
I know, we do.
It's funny because he used to reach out to me all the time. I did go. I'm trying to think the last time I went to see him. Probably 4 months ago, we brought a bistro meal to him and his wife Barbara,
Hmm.
and I heard from him, but like once or twice after that. But it's been a couple of months now, and unusual for him. So I'll reach out again.
Yeah, definitely.
He definitely brought a dry sense of humor to the meetings.
He did. And his
Merrily
minutes
also-
were very
hold on.
short and sweet, David. His
Yeah.
minutes were like 3 lines, which were fine with me, but
That's actually true. I remember now.
yeah. Yeah. He did a great job. He did.
He did.
Yeah.
Merrily also invited us as a commission to check out the voting location at the middle school. She stated that the curbing entrance was fixed after 4 years of her begging, which is kind of sad, but it was fixed. She also stated that the Auto Mart did not work at the last election, so she's looking into repair services. She also stated that there is a ramp available for the side door entrance, but it will probably only be used for the November presidential race.
Mm.
So people with access issues don't get to vote in primaries?
Well, that's a good question. So I will reach out to Marilee and ask about that.
I mean, I know the town can say they can vote by mail, but it's illegal to prevent people from voting in person.
Yeah.
I'm such a believer in voting in person if you can do it. Everyone in my family got one of those postcards, and I threw mine away because I'm gonna, go in person for sure.
Same.
But you're right. You should have every option if you want to go, and it makes me proud actually to go in person. You should have the access. So I'll reach out to Marilee and ask, what the availability would be for the primary and see what she has to say. The other thing she did mention, and it makes me so sad, is that she's going to be leaving us very soon and going into her second retirement. And she's another one that you can't even possibly think of replacing her because she's definitely one of a kind.
Right.
And, it's
definitely
it's
is.
a sad day
Oh,
for
my God.
Bridgewater, definitely.
Yeah. She
Yeah,
was
that's-
always my go-to forever. I
Me
mean,
too. Me
even,
too.
with Elder Affairs, always, and she would respond back immediately and she's just so knowledgeable. Oh, we're really gonna miss her.
And so nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
very
but-
nice.
But back to your point, Karen, I will reach out to Marilee about the ramp for the primary and any other elections, because
Right.
even if it's a smaller election, it's still worthwhile to have it available. So let me find out. Any other election? Good. This really, I don't know that comes under disability per se, but the Commonwealth mandatory training for all municipal employees. It was resubmitted to us, the email by Marilee. The email states that the state's Ethics Commission launched their new online portal for the mandatory conflict of interest training and code of ethics. If you completed the requirements in 2023, you should have received an email in January and may follow those instructions. If not, you must visit the website and follow instructions. I can resend the email to you guys if you need it. I did read that the online training, which I have not yet done, will take approximately an hour to complete.
So David, I did the training in September. I'm actually looking at my certificate now, but I did not get an email in January from them.
Huh. I do not know. Josh, would you have any response to that?
That's a good question. I don't know if you, because you did it so close to the renewal that
Possibly.
it might have just renewed you. I'll make a note of it to check into it though.
Can I
Thanks.
comment on that? I did mine in August, Gloria, and I did reach out to Marilee. So she gave me the link to inquire directly to the state because I wasn't sure about it. I had an email saying that I had completed it.
Right.
So I did contact them and they did, they showed me that I had completed it in August. So I need to complete it again in 2024 by August of when I completed it last year. So if you want, I can send you the link and you could just go right on it and it will tell you.
Okay, that would,
If you want me to do that, Josh.
yeah, I
Yeah.
appreciate
You know.
that.
That'd be great. Thanks,
Yeah.
Lauren.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Lorraine.
Sure.
So it sounds like whether you did it in 2023 or did not do it, which I didn't do it in 2023, you have to do it this year in 2024.
Yep.
I didn't think it was a yearly requirement.
I didn't either. But it said I
I
needed
know
to
for
do
a
it
fact that
again.
I certainly didn't do it every year, but I'll do what I have to do, I guess.
Yeah, it said I would have to complete it by August of 2024, and I did it August of 2023. I thought it was every other year.
So did I.
But that's what the response was. And it is an easier I thought it was an easier process too. This one, the new setup.
It's fine. It's time.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Good. I personally always hate doing it, but I will do it.
Yeah.
And when I say hate, I mean really hate, but I'll do it. The Massachusetts Office on Disability Winter Bulletin came out, and I got an email about that. I can't remember if I emailed it to everyone. I didn't do it again, but if I did not email it to you and you didn't receive it, I'll be happy to do it easily enough. There's many events coming up and many training sessions, including in the near future, there's a quarterly tea, which is about architectural access updates. That's on February 13th from 1 to 2, and you could register under quarterly tea. There's also reasonable accommodations and modifications in housing. Upcoming date, housing workshop, February 22nd. There's many more events included in the bulletin. So got a wealth of knowledge. And if you're interested and you didn't receive it already, I'll be happy to send you the email.
So I didn't get it, David. So
Then I might not have done it when I received it. So I'll send it to you, Gloria.
thank you.
Anyone else?
No, I'm on the Mass Office of Disability mailing list, so I get
Oh,
those.
good. Okay.
Yeah, I think
Good.
I have it.
Okay.
Yeah.
As a state employee, I was just checking, like, I'll probably get like a campus-wide email soon, but it looks like the new conflict of interest law is a new piece of, so it's not like the renewal of your ethics training. I think it's a new piece.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah, and I just checked the website and it said that once you've completed it, it'll, you won't have to do it for 2 years.
Because
Oh,
I
really?
know having to
Oh.
do it for, every now and then, that conflict of
Yeah.
interest has always been a piece of what we have to do, because sometimes faculty will write textbooks. And so can you assign your own textbook and all of that? So there's always been a little bit, but maybe this is a bit more robust.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
So if I did it August of last year, why did it say I would have to do it by August of 2024? It's every other year. That doesn't make sense.
Did they say that it changed, though, Lorraine? Is it a slightly different format than it was in the past? Which
No,
would,
it was a new format that I did. It
oh,
was the
okay,
new format. It wasn't the older one that we used to have to do all the time, every
Okay.
other year. It was a new one.
I'm
So-
wondering if this one's a new format, even newer than the one you did last year. I don't know.
Maybe it changed in September. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm
I'll
not
have to look into it.
Under old business, at our last meeting, we got a copy, I believe it was the last
Mhm.
meeting, we got a copy of the information on improvements to Styles in Hart Park. Was that last meeting, Lorraine? That was last meeting, wasn't it? That we got that?
My husband was just shutting the door. I had to put him
Oh,
on
okay.
mute.
Yeah, David, we
Um,
distributed it at the last meeting.
Yeah.
I was talking to Michael this afternoon. We've just been holding off on submitting the bidding until
Okay.
until we heard from you guys on any recommendations. So
Okay,
we're looking
well,
forward.
we'll be happy to. Okay, we'll get into that right now. Thank you.
Yep.
The town council has appropriated $1.3 million, and the town has received a grant for $485,000 from the National Park Service to make improvements to Styles and Hart Parkland property. Included in the email were many blueprints and detailed information. I know that last time when we did have the meeting, we were looking at it quickly and we said, for us, that it was confusing and so forth because we're not used to looking at blueprints.
Right.
Mike Dudden had a general open, I don't know what you call it, open house meeting at the library within the last month or two.
Mhm.
And I think there was about 6 people that attended,
Mhm.
including Josh was there. And, a couple of the questions I asked, because, just to get a little bit more general feeling for it, is that the handicap accessible trails would most likely be 6-foot wide, gravel based. And they would look into handicap parking if possible, but I would think that should be a necessity for handicap parking, because if you can't.
Yeah, handicap parking, if possible, is like illegal. There will be handicap parking. It will be near the trails, because otherwise that's just stupid.
Well,
Mhm.
this was a very general meeting, and maybe Mike didn't want to commit himself at that point, but I
If he's
will say that
committing
one of-
himself, well, he has to commit. I mean, I'm just sorry to keep interrupting, but it's just like, no,
No,
you have to
no,
make it handicapped accessible, full stop.
I
And
appreciate
if they
it.
don't,
I-
the National Park Service has every right to withdraw $500,000 from the project.
So I
Well,
can, I think I can clarify a little bit on that, David. I
Oh,
think,
good, thank you.
we were talking about the secondary lot, adding handicap parking with that secondary lot, but the
Okay.
secondary lot wasn't confirmed yet. So there would be handicap parking in the original lot, but not but we haven't confirmed that there's going to be a secondary lot, not that we haven't confirmed that there'll be handicap parking.
Thank you for that
Okay.
clarification, because I'm like, why would you have a handicap trail and not give them a place to park?
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Josh.
Yep.
And I'm sorry that I didn't quite get that the first time. Thank you. So I guess if any of you guys have anything you'd like to add to that, we can kind of put it all together and send it to Josh so he could share it with Mike as soon as possible. When is the deadline on that, Josh?
Like I said, we were just holding off for you to have responses from you guys. So as soon as you can get it into us, the better. And then we'll get it in for bidding.
Oh, good, good.
The only
Dave-
thing I will add about the gravel trail is that loose gravel and walkers and wheelchairs is a nightmare. So it would have to be somewhat compactable gravel. So like the large chunky stuff, bad. The
Mhm.
fine grained stuff, much better for wheelchairs, walkers, and those kinds of accessibility issues.
I believe that was addressed, and and I think there was a study that Michael had indicated that was done that the correct type of gravel was used for
Okay.
handicap access.
Yeah, so I just thought I would put it out there because like not all gravel is created equal in terms of
Right.
wheelchair accessibility.
Karen probably
David.
should send that to me anyway, so we could kind of
Mhm.
formulate any comments all together, and just in case. I
Yeah.
did look at other parks in the New England area within 100 miles, and everybody's using some form of gravel or other. So that is the common material.
Yep.
David, that was gonna be my comment, exactly, what Karen said. I did take a look at them, but obviously a lot of it's Greek to me with the blueprints and all that, but what did stand out was the gravel. I was a little concerned about that, and also the handicap accessible, making sure there is, the parking, like Josh just said, it is in the first lot, and the secondary lot, that isn't confirmed. So definitely to make sure that there is accessibility to the trails and parking, that's what jumped out at me of those issues.
And just as an FYI, the right kind of gravel is actually superior to pavement because it allows for drainage.
Wow.
And so you don't get ponding, you
Yeah.
don't get ice pockets. So it can be a much better solution in some applications, as long as it's the right kind.
Mhm.
Karen, you are a wealth of knowledge. I just
I
didn't
know.
know any of that. I will say, I looked at maybe 20 odd different parks in, like I said, about 100-mile radius, and only one park had a actual paved surface. Everyone else had the gravel, though I wasn't
Yeah.
knowledgeable enough to realize there was different kinds of gravel like that. So that's good to know. Send it along, and we'll post anything you have to add to our notes to Mike, so that they can submit that as soon as possible.
And
And
some of
thank
my
you.
knowledge comes from pushing campers in wheelchairs through the wrong kind of gravel.
Oh,
So
yeah, yeah,
it's one thing to do that when you're 20. I
Mhm.
can't do that kind of stuff anymore.
yeah.
Oh, man, you tell me about it, Karen.
Yeah.
Nothing's like when you were 20 anymore.
Seriously.
So there was only 3 members present last month or 2
Mhm.
months ago. I did post or write down again the Disability Commission statement. I'm sorry Anna's not with us, because I would have liked everyone to see it, but just to reiterate it, the Bridgewater Disability Commission addresses issues affecting people with disabilities in the town of Bridgewater. The commission provides input on accessibility to town facilities and properties. It also assists the town in complying with the Americans with Disability Act, ADA. Though it's short, sweet, and to the point. I guess, Karen, of the group of us here today, you were the only one not here last time. Do you agree with everything?
Yes, I read that in the email that Josh sent, and that just makes perfect sense. It's really short, it's clear.
Mhm.
And it makes it, I hope it makes it clear to people not on the commission that we cannot solve problems on a
Yeah.
case-by-case basis. We're not an advocacy organization. It's nice for us to hear their complaints so that we can see the bigger picture for the town. But like when, can't even think of her name right now. When our town clerk sent us the concern from the
Marilee.
citizen about the
Merle
light,
Lake, yeah.
it's kind of like, we can't fix that. And it's not
Right.
obvious that it's the town's responsibility. But, if he's in one of the housing areas, is that something that that organization that manages the housing areas should be supplying? But so I mentioned that the accessible housing information on the Mass Office of Disability newsletter might be his best resource.
Mhm.
Because like if the town is not legally mandated to put up a street light, we can't ask them to.
Mhm.
Right. No, that's a good point. Okay.
I have another question
Yes.
about the park primarily because I wasn't here. Are
Okay.
there bathrooms in the park?
I didn't notice anything.
I genuinely don't know. Josh is searching his memory.
Yeah,
know.
that is a good question, and I don't have the answer to that.
Yeah, I genuinely don't know. I've been in Bridgewater now 7 years. I don't think I've actually seen all the parks yet. Other than the one that's very nearly across the street. And you can't miss it. It's on the way to the dump, so, I
Yeah,
would
so I
just
wouldn't be
say
able to
that if
answer
there
that one.
are bathroom plans, whether they are a permanent structure or the porta potties, that needs to include handicapped accessible facilities.
Right.
And if the plan is to not have facilities at the park, fine and dandy. I mean, they are an ongoing expense. There are certainly security issues, all of that stuff. So I don't know what the plan is, but if we're going to have them available for most citizens, we're also going to have them available for people with disabilities,
Mm-hmm.
all or none.
Yeah,
I am-
exactly.
I
Yeah.
am looking at the blueprints and I do not see any plans
Yeah,
for a restroom facility at all. And
Perfect.
that I could read. If it said restroom on the paperwork, that
yeah,
I could read and understand.
right.
But I
Yeah, I
do
think the
not see that
only
at all.
the only additions outside of the trailheads and the parking was a lookout area. And I don't think that had mentioned any a lookout area and a dock. But I don't think there was any mention of bathrooms, but I can definitely check with Michael.
Yeah.
Which
And I
actually,
guess my question is like, can people in wheelchairs get to the dock?
Yeah, that was our that was Michael's big thing was originally he wanted the actual trail to loop. But because it can't loop, he's making sure that there's trailheads that are accessible to each of the areas in the park.
Yeah, and just as an FYI, the things that I'm advocating for people with movement disabilities like wheelchairs and walkers also work out really well for moms with little kids, including those in strollers.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
if a
Sure.
path is good for a wheelchair, it's
Yeah.
going to be okay for a stroller. And that
Sure.
means that the whole family can come. You don't have to get somebody to watch the baby while you go to the park.
I mean, I see language about picnic tables and benches to be installed, the picnic area, but I don't see anything about bathrooms or porta potties or anything like that.
Perfect.
Yeah,
which actually brings up another good point. If you bring
Yeah.
in picnic tables,
yeah.
they have accessibility for people with handicaps.
Mhm.
Marathon Park has either one or two tables that someone in a wheelchair would be able to utilize, but
Mhm.
not all places have those kind of tables. So that's a good
Right.
point.
Yeah, that'd be excellent to put in the email, David.
The picnic
Okay.
tables.
Please do note that because I don't think there was notation of that, and
Yeah.
I honestly didn't even know that. So and I've
Yeah.
been to the park quite a few times.
Mhm.
Like in private residences, you just usually move the bench out of the way.
Mhm.
Right.
But in public parks,
Yeah,
the benches are usually like bolted to the
they
ground, so
are.
they don't
Yeah,
disappear.
they're fixed onto
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
That'd be a great point to make.
Mhm.
And actually, kind of going along with that, because it took a long time. Lorraine, you'll remember this. Do you remember
Mhm.
going back years at Marathon Park?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And they did not, Josh, have handicap parking signs for,
Mhm.
I'm going to say, we were working on it for like 2 to 3
For a
years.
while.
And then they finally put in a couple or maybe more than two, but at least two signs over there.
Mhm.
They also made the pavement from the parking lot, which wasn't paved, but from it to the entrance to Marathon Park, they made like a what would you call it? Not a 45-degree angle, but accessible for people in wheelchairs. You
Mhm.
could roll up a slight incline. So
Yeah.
it took a lot of time to get that. So maybe a
Yeah.
couple things to look into. Are they going to have signage and so forth? And the other thing I was wondering, because we did talk about restrooms, for many, many years they had porta potties at Marathon Park, but they never had a porta potty that was handicap accessible. So they
Mhm.
are and they took it away during COVID. I'm not sure if it ever came back again, a Marathon, but if they do a porta potty at this new park, Styles and Heart, then
Mhm.
it should be, like Karen mentioned earlier, accessible to people with handicaps.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
actually even, and like you said, if you're with a stroller, it would have been hard to get into
Yeah.
the other porta potty. So
Yeah.
a bigger, more accessible one would work for everybody.
Yeah, there are actually some like oversized porta potties that are accessible to whole families. So not only are they wheelchair accessible and they have the bars for people who have stability issues, they also have changing tables.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
it's it helps a lot of people. So it's not like, why would we have a porta potty for somebody who might not ever come? Well, families come pretty often to parks,
Yeah.
and families like tend to have children, and they
Mhm.
start off pretty small. So it's kind of like,
Yeah, but you
Yeah,
know
no.
what, Karen? Maybe people don't come to the parks because they feel they aren't handicap accessible.
Well,
And
there
that
you
could be a
go.
yeah,
reason
oh,
why they
absolutely
don't,
true.
you know?
And I know my
So-
sister didn't realize
Yeah.
that some airports had family bathrooms, and she was very hesitant to
Mhm.
travel with the twins when they were toddlers.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So some of the things we got that we want to put into writing, picnic tables, if they're going to install them that are
Mhm.
handicap accessible.
Yeah.
Make sure there's a ramp. I meant to blank before, but a ramp going up to, if there's any kind of a leverage like that. Signage for handicap spots right from the go-get. If there is a porta potty, to be accessible for people with disability. And
Gravel.
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 And you
Yeah.
guys are gonna send me an update on the types of gravel, Karen, and so forth, so we can be more specific, but that's great.
It
Anything
basically
else?
boils down to don't just get the cheap stuff from Home Depot.
Mhm.
Yeah. I've learned that on my house also, Karen. Don't get the cheap stuff. It never works out.
Yeah.
I can
Okay.
vouch for never using cheap mulch again.
Oh.
So full of bugs, nasty.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
Okay. So then we move on to, let's see. I didn't really do anything with this. Commission on Disability Sample Operating Bylaws and
Mhm.
sample goals. I didn't really do anything with that. Do we want to get that set up and talk about it in next month?
Sure.
Yeah, that's what I thought. We could maybe spend some time during the next meeting to kind of go over some of this, you know?
Okay, that
Yeah.
sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Also, you know what? We used to have every once in a while, like a speaker at our meetings. And there's not a lot of us. However, if we had an interesting speaker, I'm sure I could post it at the senior center, one of our meetings and actually get people, and we could do it at the college or what, a university. But, we could, if it's something of common interest, I'm sure we get people that would be happy to join us for our Zoom meeting. So if you have some ideas who what kind of speaker that we could get that would
Mhm.
perk up our meetings, make them interesting, maybe get people that wouldn't normally attend our meetings to come and because they have something of common interest. I think that would be pretty good.
Can I ask a quick question, David, to Josh?
Yes.
Josh, will we still be continuing with the Zoom format, or will we do in person at some point in time, or?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had an update on that. We're still ironing out the
Okay.
details of it.
Yeah.
Like I said before, it's just what we want to do is we want to set up a protocol that is going to be the forever protocol. And that has to just align with the state requirements.
Okay. Yeah.
So they still are, the state mandate's still hybrid or virtual or, a mix. So we just want to issue something that can be just stick around, put it in the handbook and, not confuse everybody.
Okay.
Good.
I was just wondering, because I had a cat that was ready to jump on my shoulder a second ago. You would have seen my cat.
Yeah, my cat made an appearance earlier, so there you go.
Not
yeah,
that
it's
you
funny-
wouldn't mind seeing Remy. I mean, he's a beautiful orange tiger. You would have enjoyed him,
Oh,
but
see, I would have liked that. Okay.
it kind of disrupts my concentration, and my husband's going up and down the stairs and downstairs. it kind of disrupts, and I'm trying to take notes, so bear with me.
Oh, it's funny you said that because even in my house, my wife's working downstairs, so I have to shut the door so she's not disturbed. My son is working in the room over here. You gotta shut the door. My daughter just came home for lunch. I mean, there's things going on all over the place.
These minutes are gonna be all over the place, I'm telling you. Sorry. Oh,
So I guess that's all I have. Comments, anything anyone would like to bring up? Lorraine,
no,
anything?
it's great that we're back to meeting again, and that's
I'm glad
wonderful.
too.
Yeah,
I'm glad too.
Yeah.
Karen, anything you would like to add?
Nope.
Okay, my buddy Gloria, anything you'd like to add?
The bylaws, copies of those for the Disability Commission. I don't know if I've had them. I'm sure I've misplaced them. So where can I see them or get my hands on them?
I can send them along to you, Gloria, if you want.
You bet. All right.
Yeah.
You're
Yep,
my go-to. Thank you.
yep, I'll send them along to you, Gloria.
All right.
Why don't you send them out to everyone too, because
Okay,
that way make sure everyone has it.
Yeah, refresher. That's a good idea.
Good,
yeah,
thank you.
it's the bylaws, and I think it's the goals. that
It
we've been
is, it
working
is.
on. Yeah,
Good.
And
Because
David,
I
I'll
think
just
we
a
send
quick
worked on the mission
question.
statement already.
Sorry,
That's all set.
Josh,
right.
Yep,
That's
I was
all
just
set.
going to ask, and I don't want to, I don't want to rush you guys or anything, but
Mhm.
would it be possible to get comments about Styles and Hart by, say, the end of this week?
yes, it will.
Okay,
Mhm.
Definitely. And guys, just send me about the gravel and I'll put everything together and we'll send it to you definitely before the end of the week.
okay.
No
Thank you guys
problem.
very much for discussing it. We're really excited to get your comments, so.
Oh,
Good,
great.
and I'm
Thank you, Joe.
excited that you're including us also, so thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Guys, anything else?
Oh, the only thing I can think of is the university, well, the BSU Foundation, so the Alumni Foundation has acquired another building in the neighborhood by the library.
Yes,
Oh,
And so they will be remodeling it to make it for the graduate school. And that's where a lot of offices will be, but similar to our experience with the Martin Richard Institute, I can imagine that we'll be asked to review a handicap bathroom on the second floor that nobody with a handicap can get to.
you can get to.
oh,
That's what we did the last time, I imagine. But the other thing that they're doing now that they have 4 properties in a row is that they are looking to create a green space. So to
Mm.
create kind of like a walking park-like area, that they would all be connected. They could do like to combine all the backyards into an area that could have functions. And so that might also come our way, like, is this handicapped accessible? There is a parking lot that backs up to one of the properties that is a handicap parking lot. So they're kind of already been planning, hoping for this. So
wow.
Oh, it sounds really nice. I'm trying to picture where it could be near the library, 'cause I'm very familiar with the area.
yeah,
but
if you go down Park Street, it's the one that was behind all the bushes and it
Okay,
has the red tile roof. They've
Oh,
cut
okay.
down all the bushes and most of the trees because they were in rather rough shape. And so
Right.
they're going to do the kind of thoughtful restoration that they did on the mansion on Summer Street for the Martin Richard Institute, kind of keep it looking like it belongs in the neighborhood and then bring it up to code.
Oh,
Nice.
great.
That's
Well,
great.
that's really nice.
David, could
Yes.
I ask Josh a question?
Be my
Where
guest.
are we at with the memorial building? Is that completed then, or where are we at with that?
Yeah, Memorial Building's completed.
It is completed.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that they've had any of the artifacts displayed just yet. I think they have to get special displays that were unavailable for a little while due to supply issues. So I think that's kind of the next step. But as far as the building goes, the renovations are completed, and the actually on the our boards, commissions, and committees webpage for community preservation committee, Carlton Hunt put together a nice final report, or not final report,
Oh.
like a completed report, PowerPoint that goes through pictures of all the work that was
Oh.
done, and
Nice.
so that's available on the webpage.
Oh, great. So there's town offices that are currently in there now, or? are the
Yep, town offices,
in there?
DPW's in there. They've been
Oh,
there for
okay.
a while now. Yep. So it's really nice.
Oh, good.
I can just
Okay.
remember during the pandemic, every time Chris would show up at one of the commission meetings, we would just hear, we're having supply chain issues. We're having supply chain issues
I
You
know.
did say that, I remember that.
I
all the
know.
time. And they were real. I mean, it was not,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that was
exactly.
for everything, it was real, yeah.
yeah. Oh,
we
well,
have
that's good.
approval to put in a door. We don't have a door. You know?
Yeah.
So that would be under this, did you say the CPC? That would be the Carlton's
Yeah, his
presentation?
presentation is
Yeah.
under the completed projects.
Okay.
So Josh, once they put the artwork and everything in there, will it be open or for people that just want to look around and see what it looks like?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's open right now, but it's kind of boring because I mean,
Yeah.
it's just a front desk in everybody's offices.
Yeah.
They are trying to get the artifacts. They got the storage all set up in the
Ah.
basement. So we're just working on artifact display right now.
Good.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Okay, the next meeting, looks like it will be scheduled for Tuesday, February 27th at 2:00 on Zoom.
Mhm.
That's all I have. If there's nothing else, I guess we can motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll move, we
I will
adjourn
make
the
a
meeting.
motion.
Okay, I got Karen first, or Karen? And
Karen,
who's- And who's second? I think I heard
I will-
Gloria.
Gloria, isn't, yep.
Gloria.
Oh,
So
great.
the meeting is adjourned. Everyone have a great month. Happy Valentine's Day in advance.
Right.
And we'll see you on the 27th.
All right.
Right.
Sounds
Bye,
good.
guys.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Take care,
Thanks.
everyone. Thank you.
Fine.
Yep.